Nick, 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 Nickelodeon. Nick, 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 Nickelodeon.
So, the Loud House, huh? It's definitely an interesting subject to talk about at the very least. I was a pretty big fan of the show back in the day and reviewed it twice in the last November. Once positive, one negative. Back in the day, I was genuinely a big fan. I really did enjoy this show. However, my opinion on the show has vastly changed since then, and I'm sure you know why. It's really not an uncommon opinion to believe this show has fallen from grace, if you will. The Lighthouse somewhat kind of fell off hard, not going to lie. Back in the day, it was seen as, honestly, Nickelodeon's savior. The new show that could truly keep up with SpongeBob, and in some ways, it actually kind of did. It did hold up to SpongeBob in a lot of ways. In fact, it even had the same similar popularity for a while, but it just couldn't hold up that momentum, which is understandable. It's a hard level to maintain. However, while it does still air new episodes, the quality has dipped quite severely. And I don't want to belittle anyone who is still a fan of the show. Like, if you still enjoy it, that's fine. I'm not here to make fun of you for enjoying it. I just want to say I don't think it's very good anymore. However, I don't want to discuss a newer episode, really. I don't really want to talk about the new one right now. Maybe one day I'll get to it, but you've already seen videos about that. In fact, I really recommend some of the newer videos by the mysterious Mr. Enter. I know he gets a lot of flack, but I think his most recent Loud House reviews are actually pretty well made. Today we're looking into Heavy Metal, the first really bad episode of the show. And it's really weird because it's actually only the third episode in. So, let's just go ahead and get into it. It is not uncommon knowledge that the Loud House has had a few stinkers. Even in its early years, it had episodes like Brawl in the Family, which I reviewed last November, that were really bad. And I really do stand by everything I said there. In fact, that one is so bad that I've debated re-reviewing it because I think I was too nice to it. Don't worry though, don't worry. We're not doing that today. Re-reviews are something I want to do very infrequently and only for things that, like, my opinion really changes on. Today's episode is one that I remember hating, but I don't know if others hate it as well. It's not one I don't know if this is a commonly hated one. Heavy Metal features a fairly common lesson in kids media, and especially cartoons, and it's one that is that I think is a little borderline dangerous. Maybe dangerous isn't the right word, but it's a bad message in my opinion. I think it's a very destructive one, and we'll get into that when we get into that. But let's just go ahead and get into the start of the episode. Now, this episode begins very quickly. It's a montage of Lincoln getting bullied at school. You know, he gets all the typical bullying shenanigans. He gets whoopee cushioned. He gets his pants pulled down, garbage dumped on him. You know, typical cartoonish pranks. Things that you'd see in a lot of other cartoons. After this, he goes to vent to Clyde.
So you really confronted that bully? That's right. I said to meet me at 3:30 in front of my house, and we're gonna settle this. Whoa! You're gonna fight?
As you can see, he phrased it in a way that indicates that he plans to fight. And the way the episode is presented indicates that is the way the note he gives to the bully is written. So, from here, it sounds like the bully is expecting him to fight. And this is one thing I want to say. When I first watched this episode, I thought this was the direction it was taking. Was going to be a fighting the bully isn't necessarily the right option. That there's a better ways to handle the situation. That's not where it's going, and we'll get to that. However, what is important right now is Lincoln has some gum stuck in his hair, which is quite unfortunate. Now, why is this unfortunate?
Better not let my sisters see this, because then they'll want to get involved and make things worse, the way they always do. I don't know. Maybe they'd be helpful.
Now, I grew up in a pretty big family. Not 11 members like Lincoln, But I am the second youngest of 5, so I kind of get where he's coming from here. I do really like this setup here quite a lot, actually. The sisters, they want to help their brother, but they're kind of blinded to the fact that they're not really helping. And all of that was done for a paper cut. It's a very relatable struggle, and I actually really enjoyed this scene. It's funny and charming that the sisters go to these lengths to try to help their brother out. And it's the exact kind of relationship that I feel a lot of siblings share, where you can be rough with each other, but at the end of the day, everyone wants what is best for each other. I mean, your family. I relate to that very heavily, because that's kind of the relationship I have with my siblings, where, yeah, we can kind of be jerks to each other, but at the end of the day, we do care. Lincoln, of course, just wants to get the gum out and deal with the problem himself, because he doesn't want their meddling to make things worse. And he goes through some great lengths to get it out. However, things keep making that harder, including, of course, the parents.
The trash.
Okay, Mom, 5 minutes.
Not 5 minutes, now.
I will. Just give me 3 minutes.
Lincoln, listen to your mother!
You know, I never understood this myself, really. Why can't his parents wait 5 minutes for the trash to be taken out? It's not like it matters if it's done a bit late. Maybe I'm just spoiled because my parents never were like this. They didn't care when a task got done as long as it got done in decent time. So I don't know. It's always been a bit weird to me when parents do this in shows. However, Lincoln is caught by Lisa, who immediately told the other sisters exactly what is going on. They immediately give some ideas, some better, some worse.
I'm gonna write an insult comedy routine that'll leave him in tears. Basic stealth ninja kick. That's how you're gonna take him down.
Of course, things change up a little bit when they find out the bully is actually a girl?
It's a girl. What?
This changes things because, well...
When a girl picks on you, that only ever means one thing. She likes you.
Jumping Jesus H. Huckleberry Christ on a crutch!
Yeah, this sucks. This really sucks. This moral flat out ruins the episode. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's... You know what the worst part is? It fakes you out. It makes you think this isn't the moral they're going with. The bully initially punches Lincoln when he tries to kiss her. And I thought it'd be a reverse of the moral of, yeah, no, but sometimes bullies are just bullies. But no. No. She did know. She did like him. And she just didn't know how to say it. Do I need to go on? I mean, why is this a recurring moral? Why is this so frequent? It's something even I was told in school before. What even is the point of teaching it, okay? Is it to get people to feel better about being bullied? Is that it? Like, imagine you're at class, and imagine you're at school, and you're like, oh, gee, I got beat up in class today for being a nerd. This sucks. Well, buddy, I'm sure she only beat you up because she secretly likes you. Oh, is that supposed to make me feel better? I'm joking aside, is this really, like, a good moral? I don't think so. In fact, I think it's horrible because if it's true, and someone goes with them because, well, they think it's true, and so they they decide to go out because, you know, they like me, well, then it forms a toxic relationship because they see that behavior was okay, and it worked. If it's not true, it does nothing. It doesn't make anyone feel better, really. Furthermore, it can make people not report unacceptable behavior because, well, they think they like them. It's like, oh, well, I guess I won't report them now. They're just trying to show that they like me. That's not. There really is no circumstance that I can think this moral has any kind of benefit. I want to make this clear to anyone who might still be in school and watching. If you are being bullied, it is very unlikely that it is because they like you. Do not just assume that they like you, because they probably don't. The reason for bullying that's more likely, poor home life, they get a kick out of it, they think it's funny, poor raising. There's a variety of reasons, and every situation is different. Maybe it is because they like you, but still, that's no reason not to take it seriously. That's no reason to accept that behavior. If you are being bullied, go to a teacher, go to a counselor, an adult, someone you trust. Someone you trust who can actually help you solve the problem. Don't just accept it. This doesn't have to be something you accept, because it's not acceptable behavior. And this is why I think it's such a dangerous message, because it makes people think it is more acceptable behavior. You see, I remember disliking this episode as a kid. Well, as a teen more, actually. I was a teen when this came out, not a kid. But I didn't remember just how disappointing it is. It starts out really strong, makes you think it's going to be a good episode, and then just falls down a staircase, which leads into the Grand Canyon. This episode is probably better than Brawl of the Family on a technical standpoint. The writing's better, it works within the world it exists. But honestly, I'd have to say I hate it more. I've said before that there is nothing worse than missed potential, and that's what this episode is to me. It's missed potential. It could have been something good, but it actively chose not to be. And that's just how heavy metal is. It's an episode that started out very strong, but tripped off the finish line. And how fitting that is for this show. Because that really describes the Loud House too. A show that had a strong start, and then fitted out the gate. And I guess I should address the elephant in the room, that the creator of this show did get booted off the show for being not a very good worker, let's say that. We'll keep things PG today. He absolutely deserves to be kicked off the show. Nickelodeon made the right move there, and I'm not going to argue that they didn't. However, I will say it has become increasingly clear that only he really knew how to write for the show. The guys they got to replace him at the very least could not write as well as he did. So, just some food for thought. I'm not saying they should ever hire him back. Obviously they should have, but I really think that Loud House should end. But that's all I have to say about this, and maybe it'll get better. You can always hold out hope. Because even nowadays, I think there is still occasionally a good episode. It's just nowhere near where it was. That's all I really have to say about this episode. It's pretty bad. It's got good elements, but nothing outstandingly good. So, next time, I want to be a little more positive next time. We're going to go over a older Nicktoon that I really like. Next time we're going to be going over a more positive look. We're going to be talking about Invader Zim, one of the most popular shows Nickelodeon's done. And silly, I'm going to cover probably my favorite episode from that show, Backseat Drivers from Beyond the Stars. Until then, I hope you guys have a great day. If you like this video, remember to like. If you want to see more, subscribe. Have a great night. I'll see you next time.